Hi friends, welcome back to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Alan. So we have some new updates about the upcoming episode 8 of The Last Jedi film. Vanity Fair did a exclusive preview of the movie. There are a few minor spoilers in this video about The Last Jedi, just to warn you guys. Along with some really awesome photos, we got some really cool interviews from the cast. My favorite one being, of course, from Mark Hamill, who is as usual nonchalant about everything. Apparently, after filming on Skellig Island for Force Awakens, he dreaded going back for episode 8. As beautiful as the island was, the way to the top was a couple hundred stairs, which was a bit too much for the 65-year-old actor. As a matter of fact, when he read the script for episode 8, he went, "Oh my god, we're going back?" While most of the crew was given 45 minutes to climb to the top, Hamill was given an hour and a half. Mark also went on to say while he thought J.J. Abrams' reveal of Luke at the end of Force Awakens was a narrative masterstroke, he would have done it differently had he been directing. Recalling the fun times he had with Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford aboard the Death Star, he thought it would have been more fitting if the three had reunited once again. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen Force Awakens. Hamill reasoned that Leia would have sensed that Han was in danger and rushed to save him, while communicating with Luke through the Force that Han needed their help. Together, they would have seen Han off one last time, before his emotionally unstable child literally stabs him for attention. Hamill observed that in the actual scene, Chewie is the only person who actually really knew Han. Rey and Finn were still relatively strangers to him. I think it's really interesting that Hamill had this idea. It might be a little more campy, but it reminds me of the expanded universe and in some ways the original trilogy as well. The actual version we see in theaters falls more in line with Disney's new, more calculated and professional version of Star Wars, where old characters are forgotten and new characters are thrust into the limelight. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other, because change is good. It helps franchises adapt to the evolving tastes of audiences, but I can't help but be nostalgic for Hamill's version of Star Wars. We also got to learn a few more interesting things about the upcoming film. The one clip where we see Finn in the teaser trailer is actually of the character inside a Bacta suit. Bacta is a healing liquid that patients are usually submerged in. It has amazing healing and regenerative qualities. Kylo Ren, who put Finn in the Bacta tank in the first place, apparently has some new scars of his own, according to Adam Driver. Not just the one given to him by Rey, but an internal scar from killing his father. We theorized that killing Han actually made Kylo Ren weaker. It's a possible shift for all Force users in the upcoming movie to drift towards the gray. Rian Johnson hints that the second film in this new trilogy, like Empire in the original trilogy, would be much darker. As the sole credited screenwriter, Johnson began the process of writing the script by imagining the worst things that could happen to each character. Rian also hints of a new scene that takes place in a small Jedi village which is inhabited by caretaker creatures. And no, they aren't Ewoks, so don't worry. This was shot at Dingle Peninsula, another interesting area in Ireland. Johnson also says that Luke and Rey's relationship isn't exactly comparable to Luke's own training with Yoda. Daisy Ridley also hinted as much during Star Wars Celebrations, saying that sometimes people aren't exactly what you expect them to be. I think we're going to see a lot darker version of Luke. He's probably disillusioned after seeing his newly created school destroyed by Kylo Ren. We theorized that he's looking for the original teachings of the Jedi, and he's found that they were more gray in their teachings. Drawing from both the dark and light side, they find balance through the Force within themselves. We also finally get to see Benicio del Toro's character, who, surprised, doesn't have any prosthetics or blue makeup on. In my opinion, he's definitely a part of the criminal underworld, but too sketchy looking to even be a part of the Resistance. And Laura Dern's character was revealed as Vice Admiral Holdo of the Resistance Navy. It's also confirmed that Kelly Marie Tran's character, Rose Tico, will be going undercover with Finn into the First Order. Amongst the photos was a few beautiful shots of numerous aliens in Canto Bright, the new casino city we'll be seeing in the movie. It kind of reminds me of a fancy version of the cantina scene we're used to seeing. It also kind of reminds me of a Renaissance painting. There's definitely something dark and foreboding with these photos. But anyway, I'm really excited to see it. I've always loved the urban parts of Star Wars, from the sprawling planet-wide city of Coruscant to the depths of Taurus. And lastly, we do get to see a lot more of General Princess Leia Organa in the upcoming film. Apparently she slaps Poe across the face at one point, a scene which had 27 takes. The entire cast praised Carrie Fisher's role both on camera and on set. She was especially influential amongst the younger generation of actors. According to Kathleen Kennedy, after production had wrapped for The Last Jedi, Fisher grabbed her and said she better be in the forefront of Episode 9. Kennedy remarked that while Episode 7 featured Han Solo and Episode 8 will feature Luke, Episode 9 would have been Princess Leia's moment to shine. It's great we'll get to see her one last time. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so you don't miss out on all of our latest and greatest Star Wars content. And if you're watching this, you are Generation Tech.